Somerville, my name is Ed Halloran and welcome to the Somerville Labor Show. I'm very excited, as I always am, to have this show. This week we're going to be discussing cafeteria workers and the good work that they do in the city of Somerville. School cafeteria workers and in the community, and they're very vital. They have, in seeing that the students are properly nourished, so they're able to concentrate every single day and stay healthy during the school year. My guest is a union president of the Cafeteria Workers, Local 274 AFSCME, and also she's very passionate about something that she's been doing for quite a while here, Somerville Overcoming Addiction as well, and that's her regular weekly live show and on cable access here, and she's actually taken time out to be on the Labor Show with me, and I really do appreciate that. Joanne Revicchio, welcome to the Somerville Labor Show.
Thank you, Ed.
This is exciting for me because I'm actually with a professional here, you know, because I have not had a full year of this, and I haven't done any of these live shows. So one of the things I want to talk about, I mean, people know you from Somerville Overcoming Addiction. Before we get into talking about you as the president of the union, which is not an easy job, I can tell you right now, because 1 year feels like dog years, 7 years for us, as you know. Can you tell me how this began with the Overcoming Addiction field?
Sure.
What got you into it?
Okay, first, most people know, and if you don't, that I lost my son in 2009. His name was Frank Revicchio. And Frank died November 15th of 2009, so it's almost a 9-year anniversary. So at the time I lost Frankie, or just before that, I really didn't know who I could go to for help. You know, I would call up and where I worked for Verizon for many years, I was a directory operator and a supervisor, so I would call them up and say, could you look under government listings for anything on substance abuse? And they would give me phone numbers, and I would call and they'd say, oh no, you have the wrong number, and just hang up on me. No one really would help me. So it wasn't until after my son had passed away that I was able to get involved and met a lot of people in the substance abuse network.
And you found out that it wasn't just something that was happening, you know, every now and then. This is something that was happening.
Well, in 2009, it wasn't as bad as it is now with the opioid crisis. Yeah. So what happens is that I went to Somerville Cares About Prevention, and I asked them if they were going to be put. Was there any point that the city of Somerville was going to put Narcan on the fire department, as well as the police department? And they said, well, it was a lot of red tape, but they were in the process of doing that. So 2013, the community got together and had a meeting down at the old fire station. And I think Matt McLaughlin was the person that actually got the meeting together. And what it was is that at the time, Governor Patrick Duvall had deemed that opioids were an epidemic. So that's when the community got together. And what happened was, after a while, that's where I met Judy, that's where I met Matt Gannum. I met so many different people that were really interested in what was going on and started to meet on a weekly basis. So Somerville Overcoming Addiction happened in 2013 in around June.
Okay.
And that meeting was back in April. So for 2 months we met and we decided to do something. And we didn't know what direction we were going to go into. At first there were some that wanted to get involved in the State House, you know, and work on bills to help, you know, people get services. And most of us wanted to just be community activists and try to help the city with the huge problem that we're having, because there were so many people that were dying.
Being from the city for many years myself and understanding exactly what you're telling me right now, I grew up in the city and in the 60s and the 70s and into the 80s, and every decade had this different epidemic. It just did. But nothing like what we're seeing right now.
Right.
With the fentanyl and everything else that's going on. It's just so dangerous. The Narcan is essential. We all know that.
Right.
And I have to agree with you with that. And I am really happy that, you know, the police and the fire, you know, are doing some really good work here.
They are.
And that's because of what, you know, some will overcome an addiction, and a lot of, you know, a lot of lobbying.
Right.
How to get done in order, you know, to get something like that done.
Absolutely.
But one thing I do want to mention here is, and this is how far you've gone here with this, and it's not just you, it's a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Joanne. You know, I mean, there's a bunch of other people with you on this.
Absolutely.
Thing, making this whole thing happen. So in the Somerville Times, and this was August 29th, they declared Recovery Month in Somerville for September, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole, I guess, whereas, and a lot of bill. There's a bill, and
They did a
great job on
proclamation.
this. Yeah, a proclamation. There you go.
Right.
So it came out. It was really something, and I think that you know, this is moving someplace where it needs to go.
Right.
And it's, you believe me, I envy what you're doing, because I've actually gone to some of these early on. I sat on some of these meetings. I have a good friend of mine who's with the fire department, who, if something happens with some of my members, he actually volunteers to help them and take them to meetings.
That's
To
great.
help them recover. Family members, things like that. And he's a wonderful person. I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want to mention his name,
That's fine.
because he probably wouldn't want me to. But it's just people, hopefully they understand that there's a lot of good people out there who really do care, you know, about what's going on. And we have to get this thing corrected. I think you're on the right track. I do know that you had, if you go up to the high school, you'll see to the left, you know, to the left of City Hall there's purple flags up there that were put up there. What was that again?
Okay, so first, the reason why Somerville actually got involved was because there were 16 different organizations that formed a committee that had a statewide event at the Boston Common on the 31st. Okay, Judy Walker and myself wanted to always have a state vigil. And we tried getting in touch with Fenway Park, and we did not have much luck. So I called my friend Mike Duggan. He's very, very involved statewide. He knows the Wahlbergs. He knows quite a few people. He actually knows the governor pretty well. I says, the only person that really could get this together is you. You know, and then after he started to branch out and talk to other people. So 16 organizations came together, and in 99 days we had a statewide event in the Common. And one of the things that we asked for is that cities in the state light up their cities in purple. City Hall, a bridge, whatever. So they had sent an email to the city of Somerville, and at the time, the email really, you know, there's so many emails that come in that they really didn't respond. So I sent an email to a few aldermen, and I said, we're going to have an event on the 31st, and we're asking if everybody would light up in purple. So they said that they would do that. That they would let me know in the afternoon after they talked to the mayor, and it was all set, so that when we did our pre-release, it said that Somerville was going to be lighting up in purple. But who went and took this further was Stephanie Hurst, Jesse Klingon, Doug Kress. She said that it would be nice if people in the neighborhood would also light their houses up in purple, or put a purple hat.
Well, you know, it's a great tribute. It really
It is.
is.
And then they did the
Who
flags.
left us too early.
So I do want to mention what the flags are, is there was 156 flags put up at City Hall, and that represented people that died from 2000 to 2017. And there was a larger flag that was there for people that passed on before, or the stats that have not been done. And they were actual people that died that lived in the city of Somerville.
Well, that's like I said before, it's something that we really need. You have to call attention to it. And you know what? I know you're going to keep on doing that, and you're not going to stop.
No, not at all.
I know that, and believe me,
Actually, I'm a recovery coach too.
Wow.
You know,
Okay.
and the thing is, what I do want to mention to everybody is that on the 21st of September, which is a Friday, we're going to be doing our 6th Somerville Overcoming Addiction Vigil up at Trump Field between 6 and 9. But if anybody ever needs help, feel free to.
I've been to one or two of those, so I would encourage the people to go. I really would. Okay, so now that we've talked about that part of it, we're going to talk, and that's good stuff, and it's something that we have to do. As president of the union, okay, you represent cafeteria workers, and the children, all the children, the parents. I mean, you guys have a relationship with them, the cafeteria workers, as we know, the excellent work that you guys perform every single day. I mean, I don't know how many people know the cafeteria workers very well. I'm sure the moms and the dads and you know and the children know you guys. I mean, I know when I went to school 50 years ago. I hate to say that, but that's a long time ago.
I'm there too. I think I'm a lot older than you are.
Well, we don't know about that, but so you're currently the president of your union, AFSCME Local 274. The children know all of you. The parents, they may also know all the excellent work that you guys do, perform every single day. I mean, up at the high school 50 years ago, and that's a long time ago, I can recall that we used to call it hockey pucks. You know, those are the hamburgers that we're eating up there back then. I have to believe the menu's changed.
It has.
Okay, so the good news is, what do we have on? What are we eating up at the high school? What are we having over at Winter Hill? All the other schools. I know people are encouraging good food, better food, organic food, and also I have to mention one thing. I have mentioned Shape Up Somerville. I have to mention the Mayor's Shape Up Somerville, the Wellness Committee. I am a member of the Wellness Committee. I'm proud to be on that committee.
That's good.
Those people do superb work, by the way. Just want to let you know that. I have to give them a little plug because this is all relevant, you know. So tell me, what is it that's changed, and what do you see every day that goes on in the kitchen?
Okay, well, one thing I will tell you that Drumlin Farms, we do get some local fresh food from them. Okay. Like every week we get greens and whatever to put in a salad bar, which at the time you probably never had.
I didn't know what a salad bar was at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if we had greens back then, but we may have.
But we do have a salad bar, and the salad bar is actually, I've been told that Somerville High School has the best salad bar.
Okay.
So because we'll have chicken, we'll have teriyaki chicken, we'll have grilled chicken, as well as 2 different kinds of cheeses, like feta or...
and you have vegetarian dishes for children? One vegetarian?
Oh, we do, yes. We do try to, I'll tell you the menu for Somerville, for instance. We'll have a main meal every day, and sometimes, let's just say like Tuesday, we had sausages with raviolis and garlic bread. Actually a cheesy breadstick.
That was like a Prince Spaghetti day.
Right. And what we also have that the kids requested, because we finally got a group of kids together that would let us know what they would like to see that would be on the menu.
So let me ask you a question. I was going to ask about that. So did you have like we call it a subcommittee in the union business, but whenever we want to get something done, we put a subcommittee together of our members to be included to understand what's actually going on. So what you did was you probably brought like a subcommittee together and asked them, what do you think? What are you looking for? What would you like? And you can. Right.
It was between 6 to 8 kids that got together, and they decided what they would like to see in the menu. And one of the surprising things is they wanted salad every day.
You know what? I really don't find that too surprising, and you know, the way in this day and age, I just don't. I think parents are very aware and cognizant of what's going on when it comes to their children and food that they're eating and their body, and they want them to be able to concentrate and learn. So I'm not overly surprised by it.
Right. Well, I'm very happy that they did want that. So we have salad. We'll have like broccoli with celery and carrots with a ranch dip as well, and we have cut fruits, so they can have melon, pineapple, watermelon, and cantaloupe.
So is the food prepared at the school?
Yes.
Okay, that's important, I think. That's one thing I really wanted to know, because I think so many times people think that they're taking food and they're shipping it in, and you know, and they're just taking it out. I mean, because I know that you have to have. Is it serve safe?
Yes, it is. Actually, all of the employees have to be certified, and that sanitation license is good for 5 years.
And you have to be recertified again.
Yes, every 5 years. So I've
Re-educated on it.
been recertified 4 or 5 times, I can't
Right.
remember. I'm actually due to do mine in November.
So when I kind of looked it up here to find out what the food preparation was all about, and it's really safe preparation, handling of food, cleaning and sanitizing of equipment and facilities, serving of food.
Right.
So what we don't want is we don't want any foodborne issues, no diseases.
And we have
nothing like that.
I don't think we've ever had that.
No,
You know, we
right.
make sure that everything is clean. We're probably very, very efficient. So we have the Board of Health that comes in twice a year, and all the kitchens pass with flying colors.
So how many members do you have? About?
Well, anywhere we had a lot of people that retired this summer, so it's between 50 and 60.
Okay, and they're all different cultures.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so when I think of, and let me tell you something, I was in Local 26 with Harvard University, and I loved that job because I really enjoyed working at Harvard University and working with the people and working with the students, and it was just a great job because you're just with people all the time, and it's all about the food, and you're feeding people. Back then, I mean, I thought we earned a pretty decent salary back then. That was a long time ago. What's the average salary to these days of a cafeteria worker? What'd you say?
About $16 an hour.
Okay.
If they, it depends on your steps. Remember how we steps? So that
Right,
would be a
right,
level step
Right, like
3.
a longevity kind of a thing,
Right.
and all that. So
I can actually look it up. Why don't I
no,
just
that's
do it?
fine. Do you think that on what it is that your people make, all right, are they able to really
60.
survive in a city such as this? I mean, this is a thriving, booming economy in the city of Somerville right now. I mean, it's very difficult for many people to live in the city, making even more money.
Right.
And I know you have many different people, and these are entry-level positions in a sense,
Right.
when they first come in, and they do grow when they get in there. Some people become cooks, and you know, and up, and promotions and all of that.
Right.
So I mean, I have to believe that it would probably be difficult. But do you have a lot of people live in the city, or most of them live on the outside?
Most of them live outside of the city.
They live outside the city,
Yeah.
other communities when they come in. Okay. So, do you have an active contract now? Or is it expired?
No, it expired
Okay.
August 31st.
All right. So you work with when you this might bore the people at home, okay, or the viewers, it might, but I want to raise it because I think it's important.
Absolutely.
That contracts are very important to us as municipal workers.
Absolutely.
We work with the people; they see us every day, and in this economy, in this city, it's incredibly difficult to survive
Yes.
on the money that people make. And people may say, well, maybe that's just a part-time job or whatever. I mean, there are lifelong people who make careers out of working in the cafeteria. Am I right, Joanne?
Absolutely.
Right, and they do it.
There are
And-
some, I know that one of the people that work for me, she's been there 29 years. You know,
That's a
so
long time.
it is a long time.
Right.
I've been there 17 to 18 years. I started in 1999.
So let me ask this question. Why would you want to take on the task of being the president of a union? What is it that you thought you could get done? I know why I did it,
All right.
because I'm a little nutty, but I mean, you know.
Well, I'm pretty much there too, you know. No, I'm a humanitarian. I love people. And the thing is that at the time, there was actually no one that really wanted the job. So I said, you know what, I think I could do it, because I actually retired from Verizon as an electrical worker, IBEW 2222.
So you know it really
Yes,
well.
and I actually did negotiations, and I did work for people. I was their representative.
Okay, so you have
I
some
didn't do it
background.
that long. I had a little
Right.
little background,
Right.
not too much. I don't know if you know Miles Calvey. He was from Somerville. He actually was a business agent and the president of our union. So I knew that I could probably help. The only difference is that between my union and the union that I worked for, which was hard to understand, is that the leads and the managers, like myself, they're union. Whereas management and IBEW, and they weren't union. So just getting used to having people talk about other employees
Right.
was hard to understand at first.
Well, I also think one of the biggest challenges that you would face, or I face as a president as well, is making sure our members are protected under the law.
Right,
Standing up for our members, that's why we're there.
absolutely.
And supporting them whenever they need it. And answering that phone and not ignoring, as small as their question may be, it's very important to them, and we have to do something like that and help them out. I've done it for a very long time, and I can tell you right now, I love it, I enjoy it. It's very stressful, there's a lot of work that goes along with it, and it's opened up a lot of different avenues and doors for things that I don't think that we even realized. I mean, I think the beauty of the whole thing for us, because I've known you for a while now, is that we run into each other all the time. We run into each other on an overcoming addiction event you might be having. Somerville stands together. We've talked about that other times, the Our Revolution people. So how I've always felt is that the broad coalition, to have this here with all of us together is really what we need in the city of Somerville.
Absolutely.
Because togetherness is really what it's all about. I mean, to be just, that's why we had this coalition and we created these things, and we just figured we need to know what we're doing here.
Do you know what team means?
No.
Together, everyone makes.
Oh, okay.
Together.
I should know that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me write that down with my pen. I know I drop it on the ground all the time when I'm here. So I guess my question is this. Do you believe that the members that they have, whatever they've been offered, we won't have to talk about that, okay?
Right.
Do you think it's sufficient?
No.
Okay.
That's why I didn't agree with it.
Okay, all right. So we're not going to negotiate a contract here. We're not doing anything like that. But I have to believe, I think it's the school committee that ultimately makes a decision here on the school side.
Right.
On my side, it's always the city that we deal with. I will say this, that we cannot allow to be pushback. And the reason why is because we need to set the standard here. This is my opinion, setting the standard in the city of Somerville, because Somerville is like the Mecca now. People want to be here. They want to live here.
Absolutely.
The residents surely would want to see, the municipal workers being treated properly. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is about affordable housing. I had a discussion with Bob McWaters and many of the other aldermen. I don't want to, former alderman Bob McWaters, a long time ago. And all of the aldermen that are currently in right now are aware of this as well as the mayor regarding the housing trust fund. And for municipal workers, I think it would be one of the best things they could possibly do for us. Surely your members could benefit from that, making the money that they make. And I hope, we can only hope that something like that would happen for our members. Because the Housing Trust Fund, they have it in Boston. I think it was former Mayor Thomas Menino did that with the SEIU. And it's just a great thing, and we need to have something done when it comes to finding a place for our members. We live in the city. The worst part of it is that when you live in the city and you've grown up in the city, you were schooled in the city, you're unable to stay in the city, and that's really what's concerning to me. It's 4.1 square miles. It's growing rapidly. We don't know, where we're gonna, I had a gentleman down at the Department of Public Works that I work with, and he was just distraught over where he was going to be going next. Outside the city of Somerville, because he lived here his entire life. Right. So I actually believe, I think what you guys are making, we want to set the standards. So we want to tell the residents and everybody that we hope you guys you can support us, root for us.
I think we all have to work together.
You all have to work together, right, and be out there and make sure that you want to take care of your municipal workers and have your taxes go to a good place. It's always my opinion that taxes are never used properly to put unions down. We've seen that. I see that nationally now. Unions are really being kicked to the curb here because they have rights, fair rights, that they've negotiated for in good faith, and now their rights have just been, they're slowly trying to erode them, take them away. Luckily Massachusetts is a wonderful place. California, many other states are good places. They're labor friendly. We now have the right to work, which is giving members opportunities not to join unions if they wish not to do so.
Mhm.
And I put that out there, and I had that on the show as well. We've also talked about equal pay for men and women. I'm not sure if you were aware of that law that was passed going back about 2 years ago, but it went into effect. I think that's also very important. In fact, the equal pay had to do with an AFSCME union, and it was, I believe it had something to do with custodians and cafeteria workers in the town of Everett. And what they were looking for is comparable pay.
Yeah.
And they were awarded a very good settlement, and then it was overruled by the Supreme Court.
Oh, okay. I
So,
didn't know that.
so now that's in place now. So I had a guest on last week, Kaylin Jordan, who was fantastic on the whole thing. So, you know, I think she did a really, really good job and wrapped it up. So, you know, in closing, is there anything that you want to, you know, talk about and mention about, you know, your people that, you know,
Yes, I would.
as far as you're concerned?
First of
Would you
all,
like to
most of the people that work for me are from all different countries, you know, most of them.
Yeah.
That we are all, a lot of us are parents, and we're grandparents, and we do care about everybody's children that we serve, and we make sure that their food is kept at temperature and it's safe. And of course, I have changed with my director, we have changed the menu at Somerville High School, and the kids are very, very happy.
Good.
We have, let's say, a sandwich with fries, so that's an alternate. But then we have a main meal that can be anything from a Somerville sampler, which is chicken nuggets, mozzarella sticks, and
Somerville sampler.
yeah, and has corn chips with it, with salsa and whatnot. And then we have 4 different kinds of pizza. We serve cheese because of a lot of vegetarians, and plus other kids may want cheese and not have pepperoni on it.
Gluten-free, Joanne?
Actually,
have we got there yet?
all our pizzas come in fresh every day,
Okay.
and they're wheat dough.
Okay.
Because
All right.
we do not serve any white bread, it's all wheat. And most
So we're
of
getting
the,
there. We're really
yes,
getting there.
and well, we're one of the top 10 nutrition schools. We've been awarded
Really?
one of the top 10 in the
Well, that's
country
saying
as far as
something.
nutrition. Yeah, it is.
So what we need to do now that you're there, and you're in the top 10,
Well, it's the whole city.
well, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get you in the pay of that and that range of that, because I think we need to, as a group of people, need to be there and be
Absolutely.
taken care of and be paid properly. So anyway, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's an education for me. I appreciate what you do with overcoming addiction, because I think it's something that's just, it had to happen. You know, the fentanyl and everything else that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully across the state, we can kind of like, you know, find a way to, you know, to stop it, slow it down.
Absolutely.
And
But
like-
there's a few things that people should know, that the Good Samaritan law, if there's someone overdosing and they're there to put them outside or put them out in front of the hospital, you're safe from being, you know, like convicted of something.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, it's helping that person, is the top reason.
Right.
All right, so that's why
So
they
if
want
the
you to do it, the Good Samaritan
basically
law.
you're not liable if something happens to that
Right.
person. So if you try to perform CPR or something like that and it fails, you know, it's not, you know, you're,
Right, well-
that's part of the Good Samaritan law.
Right.
And the whole knocking thing, I think, is fantastic too. Anyway, we are out of time.
No problem.
We want to thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
being here. These shows are going to continue. I just want the people to know at home, they're going to continue until we believe that they're not needed anymore. So I'm sure that these shows are going to continue forever.
I think
Because they're
so.
always going to be needed. We have a lot of plans. We're going to do a firefighter show. We're going to do something with a writer. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to give it away. But a writer from this newspaper here. We have a labor attorney that's going to be coming in as well. So I'm going to tell you, we're going to continue going on with this. We're going to do a live show. We're going to get out in the street. We're going to talk to people. So all I can say is, in unity, there's strength. Peace. See you next week.
Very good. Thank you. you.